Yeah, I hope y'all gonna like this video.
I stay myself, I never change.
Alright, y'all, let's get it.
Do whatever get you paid.
Cause, but I still low. Got 100 different in my cell phone. Still 33 for low. I'ma ride to my dog sitting in jail.
Alright.
Light on the grass, spinning back.
Let's get it.
I'm at magic, I'm at college, they don't go. Then it's right back to the window.
I hope y'all gonna like this.
Kick it flavor with me, neighbor, yeah, we local. Rap the bottom, cause the bottom where we come from. Me no pray for little paper, need a lump sum. Real spill, yeah, a recipe, yeah. Broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her. She just wanna be a VIP with a. Don't blame me, oh, they just shake me. Had to get it how I got it on my phone to be. Don't blame me, I'm what the game made me, not what the fame made me. I won't let it change me, I'm the same
I
man.
stay myself, I never change. Dirty sort of treat me like a stain. Do whatever get you paid.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Manning's Giants. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and you know, now more than ever, it's a passing league. We know that, and as Larry hit onto the open, we've got a couple of great passers squaring off here this afternoon.
And you centers in on how they're going to compete against the opposite defense. But you and I had a nice little chat with one of these guys in this game, and they did say, look, I'm always competing against the opposite quarterback. If I play better than he does, I think my team has an advantage.
Makes the handshake afterwards a little sweeter, too. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Alright, let's go. I'm at Deaton right now. I'm smack him.
So now a carry here for... And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Red Allison, the intended receiver, and it's third and short.
Hold up, guys. People. Alright, y'all ready? Bam, bam, bam.
And the off.
Stop
Pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
No.
Now Darkwa. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down, avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry
No,
through.
that was 9 yards up.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trap.
Nowhere to go here. He
Fumble.
lost the football. And the
Let's
Seahawks
go. We
have
got the ball.
recovered.
Come on,
The
you
psychology of the game
Come on,
never
YouTube.
ceases to amaze me because
We got this.
you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
Let's go.
Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he will lose yardage here. Back at the 23-yard line.
Ready.
On second down, Wilson.
That's mine.
Buying time to his left.
Woo!
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could
Let's
bring
go
him
for a
down.
start, HD.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. On third and one,
Ready.
Wilson. And no
How he
escaping
gets
this
sacked,
time
bro?
as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Now it's Wilson. Dancing
Come
to
on,
his
we need
left.
this first down,
Gets
yo.
around him. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Let's go. That's it.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it,
We
you
need 2
call it.
yards.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and
my
the back
God,
of the
I'm
end
just
zone
cut
is
these
treated the
parts
same way as the
out.
sideline. You have to get your feet down, in bounds, for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skills.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point.
They don't go for it. Let's go for it. How?
And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off.
Bang.
Fairly short
you
kick,
too.
taking
Let's
it to
go.
14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they
Hey,
get
yo,
it
we
up past
don't
the
go
30.
third quarter because I do not want to make the video super long. Oh, my God. The trophy won't go dead.
For the New York Giants, as their offense comes back out there, last year 3-13, and that was off from just a year being a playoff team at 11-5. They were 31st in total points, 31st in overall defense, so a lot of changes need to take place.
They certainly do, and frankly, the 11-5 season masked the changes that are coming now because their numbers weren't that great in the 11-5 season. Somehow they found a way to win those key important games and accumulate a nice record. But you look at the underpinnings, and you'll see the cracks are already there, and they really got exposed in 2017. They'll hit the restart button and do it and have a do-over.
Play action. Manning. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And that takes us from second to third down.
Let's go, let's go.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Manning. And Ingram holds it in. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Whoa.
They're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split
What's that
second.
tight
Man,
end?
it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run again now with Darkwan. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's Darkwan, and he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. And Rosas puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
What is that? Yeah.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Stiff-armed him. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a toss play. It's Carson.
Oh, come on.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll toss it out to Carson. All fighting off the defender. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
Now, that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
From the shotgun, Wilson feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Well, they just scored. They got the lead, and they decide to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it anyway. They like being bold.
Go, you can.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. Oh, what a juke into space.
Go, y'all.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there. 58 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Skip that part.
And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare him
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you,
What was
maybe
that?
they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when it was to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hole, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides. The pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Michael Bennett in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Here, get that one.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Back now, as I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Well, thank you. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Now it's Lockett. A big kick that time, 52 yards. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought was going to be the guy. He got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he shifts past him, and he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They go play action now. Wilson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Now the defense is going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. It doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to take over.